All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another day for matchups of the Lilicrow Tournament. We are still in the quarterfinals, and I believe today's matchup is BS versus AA. So,
Mhm.
looking forward to see these two teams compete against each other. And who's playing for?
I believe we have AA's Hunter going first today.
All right. So, round one. And now we are just waiting on verbal confirmation to start picks and bans soon.
All right, we're about to get straight into our picks and bans right now.
I don't even see what map they picked. Oh, they picked Moonlit.
Yeah, we're playing on Moonlit right now with Ever Sleeping being banned. Um,
Yeah. Interesting to see Moonlit come into play here, considering it is quite a open map and one of the largest maps to pick here, especially with you have that roller coaster that can also come into play.
yeah, especially with
So
the
now,
communication between teammates, it can change the whole tide of a game, to be honest.
very sure, I agree. So it's gonna be interesting to who see who AA's Hunter decides to ban, knowing that they can ban two survivors off the bat.
We got that Priestess and Anti-ban. Priestess, pretty normal ban on here. Honestly, I would never want to deal with her on a large map like this.
An antiquarian, just one of the really annoying harassers in the game, especially with her stick eating. Now we have BS coming up to pick their two survivors, and they will be going for the gardener and lawyer.
That Gardner pick, maybe they're looking to see an opera for this first round.
Yeah, very true. Opera is quite stable and can be used very well on Moonlit, knowing that she has many spaces to dash to and could just catch up to her survivors very quickly. So, of course, picking that gardener and lawyer is going to be a direct combat to the opera singer. So AA will be banning one survivor now. Gonna be interesting to see who they decide to ban after this.
Right, and we have a Seer ban coming from AA.
Yes, here just also one of the another annoying survivors to have to deal with because of the owl support. And then BS also coming back to pick a rescuer into their slot, going with the first officer. So again, first officer coming up and taking the merc spot instead, which would make sense knowing that they might be playing the opera. Of course, they're going to go first officer rather than merc. So they are deciding to very fight against this opera, knowing that they don't want to lose that early round one. And AA banning an acrobat off the map.
And then BS picking that aeroplanist right after It is good that AA banned aggro, because dealing with an aggro on that last stop, which I would assume is where they would put him, that would not be fun.
Yeah, and of course, BS coming back with a strong pick of their own, being that aeroplanist. And a very good survivor, honestly. Basically, his jetpack's that of Elopad, but better, honestly. So BS picking that strong aeroplanist. And now these two sides will be locking in their personas soon. I do think it's going to be interesting to see who AA decides to play for their hunter slot.
Yes, I'm wondering if they will go with that opera. They're gonna choose someone else. And we have BS's personas locked in. And we got triple windows, and obviously that first officer with Tide. A little surprised to
Yeah,
see triple windows on this map since there's not many places to vault other
mm,
than, yeah.
very interesting to see them carry windows as well, concerning that they are thinking about countering an opera. Mm, Hunter pick comes in, and they are deciding to play Gamekeeper.
Hmm. Gamekeeper's been very recent. A lot of people have been playing him lately because of his buff. It was a very strong pick for a first round, though, seeing how high the percentage of his win rates have been after his buff. So
Yeah,
high that they're
especially
nerfing him.
yeah, especially in Koa now, knowing that Koa has ended though. We did see a lot of that Gamekeeper come into play, and especially on Moonlit, I believe one of TE's hunters played Gamekeeper a lot, and they were able to hook a lot of the survivors from really crazy areas, especially
Yeah.
on Moonlit. So it's going to be very interesting, especially when I believe yeah these survivors don't have flywheel to combat the hook as well.
Mm. We have our gamekeeper with detention and teleport. No trump card. TP on a big map like this is pretty common, honestly.
Yeah, and of course carrying that confined as well. So no blink, obviously, knowing that there is no trump card. I'm yeah, I'm interested to see how this gamekeeper proceeds. And we have our map spawns coming in here.
Lawyer
First
in that
officer,
two story.
yeah. Lawyer add to his story. First officer spawning at bridge area for rescuers. Arrow spawning near last stop and gardener placed at the first stop. And we'll see our gamekeeper playing on the other bridge where the lawyer is very close to him. So we may see a very possible lawyer chase.
Yes, you could easily. I feel like going for that lawyer is probably a good idea to knock down the coding for beginning of the game. However, he could easily switch off to that airplanist and chase him into the first officer on bridge.
Yeah, it's all gonna honestly be down to how Gamekeeper decides to play this. So you're gonna see
Yeah.
him start off the game with hooking towards the lawyer, of course.
And lawyer makes his way straight upstairs to try and avoid getting found quickly. He's gonna wait out for that red light to go through the window, which he does.
Yeah, that window's coming into play, boosting him towards Godkite, where now he is hidden by most of the walls here. And lawyer does also have that map to use to see through the walls. Gamekeeper failing the hook here, breaking the pallet, just Lawyer doing a great job at avoiding
Oh,
the hunter for
gamekeeper
now.
gets a little confused by the blood trail, but quickly redirects his issue. Ooh! Nice pallet stun from Father Mick.
Yeah, Lawyer doing a great job. Having great patience with that pallet. That is 3 pallets used up for this area as of now. So we may see our very first hit here. Fortunately, does not somehow get the palace done. Thought the gamekeeper was in there, but gonna be using that veteran's boost to get away from this gamekeeper, who will end up
Uh,
just hooking back to him.
However, he does take that hit without taking the chain from the gamekeeper. He was easily able to catch up to that lawyer and is downed, but the gardener was able to finish her cipher before he could die on it.
And I do believe that will be around 3 cipher kite for the lawyer. So great job from Father Milk here, kiting out 3 ciphers against the gamekeeper of all things. First officer coming in from the rescue, hiding behind the carousel. But gamekeeper trying to cut him off early here.
Took
And it
them
hooks
through
through that
that broken
carousel.
carousel. Hmm. He does take the hit before his watch. Ooh, and he gets cut off with that teleport.
So not much first officer can do here.
It's
1 hook
ooh.
and it's over.
Yep. Unfortunately, he was not able to pull off that rescue, and the other 2 ciphers are too far across the map to come in for a save, so it looks like this lawyer is gonna be sent back to the manor immediately.
Yeah, looking like a very good situation here for the gamekeeper, considering that that lawyer was able to kite out 3 ciphers, which is a great thing. But first officer just got cut off too early, so not much they could have done there.
Yeah, very unfortunate. Oh, we do
So we do
see.
see
Is that the gardener?
once the aeroplane
No.
is coming in through first stop to get a backdoor rescue, hopefully.
Mm. He's gonna
And the
feed
stalling
tinnitus while
around.
hiding, yeah.
Now he is at the chair, so it's all up to this airplanes to see where they go from this hooks to first officer. Will he get the body block off?
He
Misses the
misses.
first hit.
Body block was not pulled off, however, it was a before half rescue. The other cipher is nearly 50%, so they do have time to wait this out. Just a little bit.
Yeah, but we do see Gamekeeper's teleport coming up here, so he could very well just end up teleporting on the Gardener and stopping their progress. He does know he can hook from here, but yeah, not much for this airplane to do besides try to get this rescue.
Nice jetpack from the arrow.
Gardener's Cipher almost coming to a prime, so Aeroplanist needs to make this rescue. Does. First off, they're taking the hit, but they make the pop.
Nice. However, yeah, that gamekeeper's just gonna hook his way right back to the first officer. Hopefully he can kite out long enough for this aeroplanist to get that first stop gate open, seeing how close he is. Fortunately, he does not, and that
And
teleport is up.
the Aeroplane is very close to this Gamekeeper. So I do believe this gamekeeper may be able to see the aeroplanist. Dungeon is below that second stop, so it's gonna be up to the aeroplanist to decide which way he wants to go with this.
Looks
Misses
like
the
he is
hook, and
gonna
now
fight for
airplanes can
dungeon.
get the dungeon.
There we go. Nice plays from both teams. We have a tie.
Yeah, very good job there, by AA coming back from the lure, dying, especially after a 3 cipher kite, and first officer getting stuffed. So well done and well communicated by AA to get that tie in the first round.
Yeah, it was good that the airplanist recognized how early he needed to leave that first stop gate, because he didn't wait a second until as soon as that officer got hooked, he immediately started making his way to the broken bridge He probably was gonna try and make it to the gate, but recognized Dungeon was at that slide and was able to get it just in the nick of time.
Yeah.
Right?
Wash.
We got round 1 finished, and that is a 2-2 currently.
Yeah, so I do believe we will see BS Hunter come up to possibly secure the round 1 for them and prevent a round 3.
We're going straight into our picks and bans from the two teams. Waiting for the survivor bans.
Oh yeah, BS banning the patient and anti off of this map. So that does make Priestess available to play for AA. So we may very well see some strong portal support. But yeah, patient, a very reasonable ban on Moonlit as well, knowing that he has very good hook usage between those two, last stop and first stop.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, like you said, it does leave that priestess open unless this hunter is someone who can easily, not exactly counter her, but make sure she doesn't change the game completely. We could maybe see a breaking wheel or a wax artist, um, if they allow that priestess to come out.
Yeah, very true, especially with that antiquarian ban from their hunter as well. Uh, I'm very intrigued to see who's which hunter they decide to go with here. Because honestly, I was not expecting Priestess to be allowed onto Moonlit of all maps.
Yeah, I would not either. Hmm.
And yeah, AA gonna have the choice to pick Priestess along with another survivor. And they may very well just go for another two survivors and then go for Acrobat and Lawyers.
Yeah, so they have that room for priestess to be banned once again. But they do not. We have a first officer ban coming from BS here.
Yeah, very standard ban from LX. Their hunter for BS. Banning first officer, so honestly I do think we could see a potential opera singer come into play now. Um, which would make sense actually. She could just teleport back if Priestess did a portal trick, and she could just catch up to these survivors very easily. So we may very much see a possible opera.
We do have that Merc pick coming in after the first officer rescuer was banned, and then right after that we have priestess banned. So unfortunately we won't see any priestess gameplay on this map, like we were hoping.
Yeah, very interesting to see Priestess not get picked whatsoever. So AA will be picking their next survivor after the Priestess ban. And it'll be interesting to see who they decide to fit into their team comp here as their last survivor.
We have that last
And
survivor coming in as cheerleader. I love me some cheerleader gameplay.
yeah, Harmony, you're a little cheerleader main yourself, if I'm correct, right?
Yeah, I do dabble in the cheerleading.
All right. So we got AA picking their survivor personas, I believe. Yeah. Well, considering that it might be an opera singer, they may very well decide to opt for a full flywheel on most of their survivors. Oh, I'm very curious as to see where they go from here, considering the 100 bands, considering the survivor picks, knowing that AA might be considering that LX plays an opera singer on Moonlit. They're going to be thinking about how they decide their personas very carefully.
Yes, and we are gonna see two tides coming in. However, that acrobat is gonna be carrying a Sui build with windows as well as tide. While the other two, besides that Merc, who obviously has tide, are gonna bring windows instead of flywheel.
Uh, yeah, very interesting to see no flywheels come onto the field, knowing that they will all be carrying windows and that two of the survivors are carrying tide.
We do see a geisha pick instead of an opera singer on this map. Geisha can be very strong on Moonlit, especially with
Yeah.
those dashes across the whole little open area that the bridges connect.
Geisha having the ability to dash through many areas of Moonlit. So gonna be interesting as to how Alex decides to play out this match, knowing that he has to face the acrobat, face the lawyer, a geisha what? Sorry. Merc cheerleader. Mix it up a little.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to see how Alex plays this out.
Right, pretty normal spawns coming in here with that acrobat at last stop and cheerleader at first stop because looping as cheerleader on first stop is pretty. It's a good place for her to be.
Yeah, definitely. So we do see the geisha spawning between the acrobat and the lawyer. So I'm very curious to see who Geisha decides to pick between these two survivors as chase down. Because honestly, I do think Geisha would be better off going after the acrobat, knowing that if acrobat makes a bomb, she could probably most likely just dash across to him. So not much the acrobat could do there.
Yes, especially with that one spot on last stop where he can just completely go over the tracks. She could easily just cross it with him, and she is going straight for this acrobat here.
Looking down at the ground, trying to catch if she could find a blood trail, and she does. Just following the blood trail for now until she sees the acrobat who is already holding down that bomb. And Merc pausing the deduction, possibly facing some ping issues.
Yeah, some technical difficulties.
So our match has come to a halt for now.
Yeah, so we're waiting with this pause. Unfortunately, someone might be lagging at the moment, so yeah. Oh,
And we do have our match starting back up. Acrobat using that firebomb to get away from the geisha, making it to a quite awkward area where he will end up taking a hit instead. His
Yeah,
bomb back up in about 3 seconds.
Geisha's gonna immediately dash to that acro. She does avoid that bomb that he used for distance.
Now Acrobat having to deal with this poor area. Gets over that pallet with the windows there. And now he will be boosting away back towards this area. Possibly will get across from there. Geisha can dash across. And now he will be
Yeah.
ending up getting it down. So this will be the first chair of the match. Their Cypher's not looking too bad, all halfway done. Our Merc here on bridge could possibly end up getting cut off.
Yeah, Geisha does head off to cut off that Merc, however, he caught on seeing her in the distance and made his way back. It looks like this will perhaps be a cell, maybe an after half, but more than likely a cell. However, that Merc runs right into the cheerleader Cypher.
Yeah, good spawning there by the Geisha, who was able to see the Merc from behind that carousel. Could possibly go back to chair here, but does not consider it. And now she's just adding a lot of price pressure to these ciphers.
Get your
Cheerleader
shit
not able
together,
to
Iggy.
decode.
Yeah. Lawyer did finish his cipher, however, we have two survivors here. Ooh, nice blink from that Geisha getting that Terror Shock hit off.
Yeah, LX, you're doing a great job at playing that Geisha, which I do believe last time I checked he does specialize in. So now Cheerleader will be the one on chair, getting a blink terror shock, and Merc has to come for rescue here.
Yeah, Geisha's gonna get her distance and put a little more cipher on that lawyer's pressure on that lawyer's cipher. And Merc is gonna make his way possible backdoor rescue, however, she notices and heads straight for them.
And Cheerleader with her two cheers as well. But coming after the Merc here, nope, finds that Cheerleader again and goes back to her.
Peter
The
gains that
Cheerleader,
distance so she doesn't get hit through that pallet. However, she no longer has any cheers left, and Geisha's just gonna dash straight to her.
so that is another down and another chair we will be seeing for the Cheerleader. Our Merc here is still full health, so he can come back for the rescue. And we do have that Merc Cypher on bridge as well.
Yes, and
So
that
this
lawyer
Cypher's
cipher is almost finished as well, so they're just behind one, but they can easily get another with that lawyer's quick decoding.
Yeah, we do see the Merc here trying to decode the Cypher, I believe, but Geisha's just threatening him with the dash. We're here for the rescue, and cannot come in because of the butterfly. So now Lawyer will be their next target. Gets hit and vaults, so that will be a pretty big speed boost trying to get into two-story here. But Geisha
Yeah.
just dashing, catching back up.
Unfortunately, with these windows, instead of bringing flywheel, this geisha can easily catch up to them because of her butterflies. Especially with how open this map is as well.
Yep, Merc here with two elbow pads, so you're gonna have to see how he decides to use them. Has that butterfly there? Tries to elbow pad past the geisha, but it doesn't work out for him. So now he will be taking a hit and going back to where that lawyer is downed. Blink is also back up to play for the geisha. Lawyer here is primed. Merc gonna try to get the heal off, and he does. So geisha just really has to get the down on the lawyer and just chair the Merc, and this is a 4K.
Great play from that geisha here, especially with the cipher pressure. Instead of camping that Acro's chair at the beginning, the cipher pressure pushing that Merc into the cheerleader was a big play from this geisha here.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, switching to that peep is to slow down the lawyer's healing. So not much these AA survivors can do. And now we will be seeing a 4K from LX's Geisha. Well done here. And great job on the side of BS's Hunter.
Yeah, so great plays from BS as well as AA. It looks like round one will be finished where we have it a 7-2 currently. And this does mean
And
we will not be going to round three, correct?
believes no, as long as AA does not lose round two, I believe,
Yes. Okay.
or if they draw round two,
I'm just a
and
girl. I can't
that'll
do
mean
math.
it comes down to round three. But it is a 7-2 5-point lead in favor of BS.
Right, and it looks like we will be having one substitution for BS, waiting to see that confirmation of what it will be. All right, so we do have Senna coming in for BT for that survivor.
Yeah, very interesting to see that the lawyer from the lawyer that did the 3 cipher Kai, I believe, is getting subbed out for another survivor on their team, and AA also having the chance to sub out any players of their own.
All right, we are not seeing any subs from AA currently.
Yeah, no subs on the side of AA. Ah,
Right?
a little confusion here. AA has not decided on any subs at the moment, actually. Chewy getting subbed in for Yimmy, who I believe was the one they ended up pausing the deduction for because he was lagging.
Yeah, Yumi was having some lag issues that last game, so Chubi will be coming in for them. And we see BS banning a map here. Just a reminder that Ever Sleeping and Moonlit cannot be picked for these at all.
Yeah, so knowing that BS was the one that picked Moonlit last round, gonna be interesting to see which map they opt out here because they did end up picking Moonlit, which is quite a big map, and they cannot pick Ever Sleeping either. So I have no idea what map they just might choose. And their map pick has come in. Their map, no, not map pick. Sorry, it wasn't a map pick.
No, it was a ban. Come on,
Yeah, they
get it
were banning
together.
map.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Hey. We
So
do
they
have
will end up
hospital.
deviating hospital. It's a map ban on hospital. Okay. AA coming back to pick Armus Factory as their map. So quite the opposite of what we saw from BS picking Moonlit, which was an open and large map. AA rather selecting quite a small enclosed map. Interesting to see who they might play here. Um, they have not made any subs for Hunter, so the gamekeeper that played last round will still be playing. And I don't think gamekeeper's quite viable for them. So I don't know what they might up play here.
Yeah, and we also get a chance of seeing who AA will ban for their hunter. Perhaps they'll ban that gamekeeper just to ensure that they don't see him again, or they might stick with the, your typical route of banning opera singer, as she can be strong on Arms Factory as well. It's really, I believe it's like a 50-50 for opera on Arms Factory.
Yeah, but so far we have not seen any gameplay of Opera, and we've seen many other hunters. Saw that Jason Gamekeeper instead first round. Abandoned picks coming up for AA Survivors and the BS Hunter.
Right, and we have our Acro and Lawyer global ban for AA, and BS is going to go ahead and ban that auntie and dancer. No one wants to go with an auntie today. She's always in that first ban.
Absolutely, knowing that she is arguably the best harasser as of now. My nose got clogged up. Jesus, what the hell, man?
Welcome to my world. I've been sick all day.
Honestly, man, I don't know. Everybody's getting sick, bruh.
Bruh.
And
So,
AA picking 2 survivors and banning 1 hunter.
yes, and we also do have that dancer ban from LX. Dancer's support can be very strong on Arms Factory, especially in the factory itself, placing those slow boxes and gaining time for survivors. The support for her is amazing.
Yeah, female dancer, an amazing survivor to use on maps like Ever Sleeping, Red Church, having really strong boxes to place, especially around those middle areas of the map. So it's going to be interesting to see who AA will pick on their survivor side, knowing that their Acrobat and Lawyer are global banned. And AA's pick coming up, they will be taking a psychologist and cheerleader into their team comp and banning off the opera. So very, basic ban. Opera just a really strong hunter to ban off the map. So good move there by AA. And LX banning a Merc.
Yeah, banning that Merc is pretty good. We could possibly see a hunter that cannot do any double hits. We could be seeing them pick their next rescuer, possibly Gravekeeper or First Officer.
Yeah, very true. Or they do have the option of taking a harasser into their comp as well. if they want to play the risky game. But as it stands right now, I do think it would be better to opt for a safer comp with a rescuer.
Yeah, they do play harasser. They should throw a thief in there. I want to see some thief gameplay. I don't know about you. I don't even know if any of them play thief. And they do have that aeroplanist coming into play. Perhaps they might use them as a rescuer for this scene, as LX just currently banned their first officer, unless they throw in that gravekeeper.
Yeah, Alex, you're going for a very rescuer ban kind of a situation, banning off most of their optimal rescuers. So we may very well, obviously see that airplanist come into the rescuer slot instead. And now AA will be picking their last survivor. So we may very well just see a gravekeeper or another person filling the position instead. And AA picking a coordinator into their comp. So that is their team lineup, going for a psychologist, cheerleader, aeroplanist, and a coordinator. Uh, Personally, I'd have to say that is quite an interesting composition to see myself.
Yeah, especially with the coordinator. Does she have a? I've played this game for years. Does she have a decoding debuff? I'm sure she does.
Believe so. It is. Yeah, Cord getting that debuff whenever a teammate is knocked down or cheered, which can be quite interesting. Although the rest of their team having pretty good decoding, especially the aeroplanist who has a decoding boost.
Yeah, except for that cheerleader with her 10% debuff. So it is really a 50-50 here with that decoding. Hopefully that airplanist can be left alone to kind of carry it along with the psych.
Yeah, very interesting composition from the survivors of AA. And their personas being locked soon.
Hmm. We are still waiting on those persona locks for the survivors.
Yeah, so AA just uh taking a bit of time here. And just a little bit of issues going on as well. So, hopefully we can get them solved, get this match going. Now we have had the survivors solve their issues, of course, coming in with their persona picks. Cord carrying no borrowed time and instead going for a Windows and Tide build. Aeroplane is also carrying that Tide as well. So they are compensating for their loss in rescuers. And Ada, their psychologist, carrying the Windows, and Cheerleader carrying Flywheel.
Yeah, pretty standard build for that coordinator. Her Court's carrying a Sui build have recently been seen, especially in rank. I haven't seen a lot of coordinators, but when I do see them, I see most carrying Tide and Windows. Right, and then we have that disciple pick from LX and on arms can be very strong.
Yeah, especially in these crowded areas where survivors don't have much to navigate through. So she can just pin them down with those cats and get her early downs and early eliminations. Although we have seen Anne doing more ties as of recently, so it's up to Alex to decide whether he gets a win or a tie for this match. And our maps coming in here now, or our spawns. Aeroplane is deciding to spawn in middle. They're psychologist switching, spawning around that sandbags area. Cord being put in that factory, and Cheerleader getting put above the middle area, and Anne not going for the bottom spot between those three survivors. So Anne will be going above that cord, and we may see a possible cord chase here.
Yeah, I believe more than likely will see this court chase as she really only has her gun to work with. While she does have windows, you could easily get that gun out at the beginning of the game, and she doesn't really have anything to work with for the rest of it.
Absolutely, and considering it is an Anne, she does have the ability to cancel the gun usage as well. So she will be dashing off here straight off the bat, heading towards this pallet area.
Oh,
And
and
Cord
that,
gets baited out into dropping the pallet.
yeah, that Anne probably caught sight of her blood trail just barely through the pallet crack.
So nice
Does
job by Anne here.
yeah, Cord uses that gun early so she does not get downed because of that cat that immediately caught onto her.
Yep, and now Cord just heading here with a raw build of windows. So she will be transitioning away from factory. So I do believe basement might have been there.
I don't think I saw it there actually.
I don't remember either. Dashing here, cutting off the cord, catching the cord off guard and getting there down.
Yeah, unfortunately, right next to that psychologist. Oh, psychologist does leave that cipher immediately. However, we may
Yeah,
see that
so
site come in for that rescue just because of how close it is.
and also having to go rather far if she were to decode another cipher. So not a good position for these survivors, having a psych who is trapped in between two very close ciphers. And Alex, you're getting a little aggressive with the psych. Yeah, Alex doing a great job at managing the survivors here, keeping them all sort of in the confines of his own hands, I believe. He does catch sight of that arrow, does not go to him, and just rather opts to camp out this chair.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't believe we will see anyone be coming in for that coordinator just because of how much pressure this Anne is putting on the survivors who could have gone for the rescue.
Absolutely. And we do see the basement rather at Shack here, so um it is not at Factory, and Psychologist will be taking an early hit. She does still have her 2 hits to work with, and this God Palette here at Shack. Using the window boost to transition away to a better area, hopefully. Just a cat on. And now Psychologist will possibly seeing another hit here. Doesn't get to vault the pallet either.
Yeah, we do see that Psych trying her best to get away from that shack area due to the basement. The Anne does try and cut her off through that pallet. However, the Psych is gonna make her way closer back to basement, unfortunately. So if she get down here, we may see a possible basement chair.
Oh, just playing around this window for as long as she can. Unfortunately, Anne jumps straight into her, and not much you can do with her when you got a cat on you and she just jumps towards you like that. So she is getting down here,
Yeah,
and
fortunately
we
that
won't see
Psych
a possible
did.
basement play.
Yeah, fortunately that Psych did run far away enough to where the Anne more than likely could not take her to that basement. So we could see a possible before half rescue if that aeroplanist we see him coming in the distance.
So yeah, unfortunately, the Psychologist did die on a pretty well worked on cipher, but the survivors very do much have their cipher set out for them, and dashes away from the Anne. Maybe misses a hit. The Anne does. Tries to use that air jetpack as well, but it doesn't go through.
Fortunately, Anne does have her cats. She does switch to that TP so she can cut off the aeroplanist.
Uh, Very smart move there to deploy the cats and switch to teleport to get to the chair, so she wouldn't have to deploy the cats as she teleported. So well done by the Anne there to stuff the rescue. And survivors at one cipher left, but we will see a slugging game here. Cheerleader just hiding this out for as long as she can, but she gets spotted and runs away from this end with that cheer.
Really good jumps from LX here.
Yeah, throwing down that pallet to gain some distance for this cheerleader, but not much you can do. We do see a little bit of lag on Alex's side,
Yeah.
and airplane is getting back up. So we do have both survivors up, and we'll be switching back onto that aeroplanist.
Cheerleader does make her way to that shack cipher that was worked on currently beforehand by that psychologist. Hopefully this aeroplanist can last long enough for these survivors to get that cipher done.
Yeah, but well, uses the jetpack to try to get away here.
Oh,
A little bit of confusion, but
yeah.
is not able to jetpack away successfully, unfortunately.
Yeah,
And now
unfortunately
Anne's got a chair.
he did jetpack right into the hunter. However, instead of slugging, she's gonna immediately teleport onto that cheerleader.
Yeah, does make the right decision there, I believe. Cheering just in case there was a pop, and securing the 4K by teleporting onto the cheerleader to get it down. So great job by Alex here, getting two 4Ks in a row, making it so that they do have a 10-point lead in favor of BS. Well, yeah, Alex, great job and well played by both sides there. But Alex just ultimately prevailing on top of all the all of the AA survivors. It's
Yeah,
gonna have to be a really
unfortunately,
strong game.
the airplanist did a great job with those jetpacks, minus a few mistakes. However, LX jumps were they were really good, honestly.
Um, honestly, LX and his Anne and his Geisha. See, LX is a very good hunter. We know that Geisha did really well in spotting out the survivors, adding pressure to the ciphers. This match was just phenomenal, to be honest.
Yeah, LX is a very strong hunter. He does play for Ravens normally, and I've seen some of his gameplay, and it is fun watching LX. I believe, especially his Geisha. His dashes and his jumps for Anna and Geisha are very strong.
Yeah, as of that match, that is just proof to Alex's testimony as to how strong of a hunter he is, making some really great jumps there to catch up to the survivors and using his cats in a great way to stop these survivors from even finishing all of their ciphers as well.
Yeah.
So we have our picks and bans coming up. The AA on the side of banning two survivors. Their hunter has a lot of pressure here to get a 4K to tie up this round two so they can hopefully come back in a round three. But unfortunately, this is possibly just way too much pressure.
Yeah, and we are gonna see AA's hunter ban the anti and seer. Once again, that anti ban coming in.
Yeah. And Seer, just an annoying survivor to deal with. Of course, the owl off of the bat can prevent you from getting that down and just have the survivor kite for longer. So BS will be picking their two survivors and banning one hunter. And really all they have to do is get at least one person out here and they win.
We do have BS banning that gamekeeper after experiencing him on that moonlit map. We are waiting for their survivor picks currently.
Yeah, so it's gonna be very interesting to see who BS picks here, knowing that all they need is one survivor out. They could very well play a safe team comp, possibly fitting an Embalmer into there, since Embalmer is quite a good survivor to get ties with. And they may fit some harassers into their comp as well.
Yeah, and perhaps we can see a dancer come into play here with her slowbox support.
It's very well. Knowing that Dancer was banned last time. We do see the Embalmer coming into play here, along with another patient who has quite some good hooks on Arms Factory. Again, two very safe survivors to play, considering that BS is only one survivor escaping away from a win. Now AA's Hunter will be banning their next survivor. So we are just waiting on the Hunter of AA to ban one survivor. And it is Arms Factory, so I'm not sure if we will see a Priestess ban, but there are many
Yeah.
survivors up to ban on the board as well.
However, we don't see a priestess ban. There are situations where priestess, especially with that global portal, can be really good on Arms Factory. Sometimes people look down on her for her plays on Arms Factory, but there are some good things she can pull off. Honestly, priestess is just a very strong character overall. With good communication, she can be strong on Arms Factory.
Absolutely, but we may very well see that the rescuers get banned as well. So we do have a Merc ban coming in from AA, banning off one of their strong rescuers. Oh,
And perhaps BS can throw in a first officer here. Yep,
Yeah,
we see BS
BS.
picking that FO.
Yep. Again, banning that Merc, a strong rescuer. BS counter picking by picking that first officer was a great rescuer to play against them. And AA will be banning their next survivor. Well, I am very curious to see who AA bans now because they have banned the Anti, they have banned that Seer, they've banned that Merc, all very strong survivors who can turn the tides ultimately in the game. So this Hunter has to make some strong bans here and a strong Hunter pick as well if they want to get a 4K against a comp with Embalmer and Patient and First Officer.
Right, and we do have that Psych ban coming into play. She can be very strong with how she heals across the map, for that FO especially.
Yep, definitely. Knowing that psychologists can heal their team to come in for another rescue, especially the First Officer. Um, AA doing a good job at making a great ban and banning off that psychologist for BS to go and pick a cheerleader into their comp. So as before, we are seeing cheerleader get picked again. Cheerleader getting used quite often in this matchup. Has been used twice, I believe. So
Yeah.
cheerleader can. Oh,
No, but this team comp can be very strong for them to secure that one man escape that they need, which is, I believe, what they're trying to shoot for, at least a tie as well.
yeah, absolutely. So honestly, with these bans, I believe we could possibly even see a hermit come into play. Actually, banning the psychologist who can heal her teammates. So hermit on Arms Factory may be a very viable option for this hunter to get a possible 4K. And
We are gonna see a
AA,
Wu Chang pick.
AA picking a Wu Chang. This is a very interesting pick, actually. I did not expect that whatsoever. Um, Wu Chang not used often and not very strong considered in this meta of IDV now. So I don't think I would have ever expected this.
Yeah, I'm also a little surprised to see a Wu as he is not as strong. However, we could be seeing I don't even know what I was gonna say, to be honest.
But yeah, Wu Chang against this Embalmer patient first. Oh yeah. Oops.
Pay attention. God, no.
Listen, I was talking about my picks and bans. I didn't notice I was in Hunter slot.
Nah, you can play the Wu Chang. Trust. Yeah. I think they should
Yeah,
they
okay
should sub in
there.
Angsty for Hunter.
All right there. But AA, the Wu Chang carrying a blink for their trait and insolence and detention. So of course, insolence a very common trait carried on Wu Chang, knowing that Wu Chang really needs his presence to get that good first chase. So Wu Chang really needs an early down here if he wants to secure a 4K.
Yeah, and he can be pretty strong on this map, seeing how condensed it is and how quick he can teleport with his umbrella across the map to the other gate at end game. So that blink could be very strong with these kites.
Yeah, absolutely. So of course, good luck to both teams. AA here needing a 4K to progress to a round 3 and just BS not needing to fall of anything shorter than a one man to win this round and win the matchup overall. Mm, I never looked at. And also the builds for their survivors. Patient carrying Windows and borrowed time, and Bomber carrying Flywheel and Windows, no borrowed time. Cheerleader with the Windows, and of course First Officer carrying Tide. And now this is our map picks and map spawns. Not map picks, map spawns only.
Yeah, and we are gonna see that L spawn in Bomber with that arms, so he can place his coffin right there. However, the Wu Chang does spawn right on top of him, so we could see that Embalmer being our first kite. Or perhaps he might try and knock out that Rescuer first.
Yeah,
But I doubt
he does
that.
also have that umbrella available at the start of the game to teleport onto whichever survivor he wishes to. So we
Yeah.
could just see a patient or cheerleader chase as well. And our match starting off here. And our hunter will be trying to bait out with the umbrella, I believe. And he does see that patient decoding. And he will end up chasing that patient instead.
Yeah, instead of immediately throwing his umbrella to jump scare that patient, he is gonna walk towards him and try and cut him off so he doesn't go into that locker area, leaving the patient out in the open. However, he does have his hooks to work with, which he uses immediately.
Yeah, great hook there to gain some distance and transition towards Shack, a good area to kite Wu Chang. And Wu Chang not with his trade up yet, and insolence not coming into effect either. So patient starting off with a very strong kite, just gaining distance from this Wu Chang.
We are gonna see the Wuchang try and cut off that patient. However, patient catches light of his red light. He does get cut off because of the umbrella and takes a hit heading straight towards Shaq here.
Yeah, unfortunately, does end up making it to the pallet and through the window. Nice hook there. Tries to bait out the blink. And he does end up baiting out the blink. Great move by the patient. So patient doing a great job of kiting it as of now. Gets over the pallet as well. This bell is available for use. Now patient
Yeah,
using that third hook to get away even further.
the patience from this patient baiting out that umbrella so he could get over that pallet was really good, and he just gains a lot of this distance to get into that deep sandbags area, which has a lot of walls for him to work with.
That's a really well done by the patient here. Vaults a window in time as well to avoid the bell. And patient is doing a great job at baiting out many of this Wu Chang's abilities in order to kite longer. So this will be an extremely prolonged kite. Wu Chang not securing it down quite yet. Again, trying to bait out at the window. And patient will be getting down. He misses the charge attack somehow.
Misses that attack
Oh,
again and does get a pallet stun by that patient here, unfortunately.
patient doing a great job at kiting. And now Wu Chang will be switching. But considering how long that patient ended up kiting, this is quite troublesome now, as he does have a lot to worry about, these survivors having many ciphers to work on. Though I do think it is well that he decides to get aggressive with these ciphers.
Yeah, he does immediately teleport onto that chair and uses his bell. However, she still has her pom-poms to work with and gains the distance that she needs. We do see this game being in favor of BS currently due to that cipher progress they have going on. However, we only have one cipher being worked on currently, and First Officer finally starting a second one.
So Wu Chang finally getting his first down and his first chair of the match. But not looking very well considering he needs to get a 4K in order to win this matchup. Or not win this matchup, but rather advance to a round 3. So considering that these survivors have a lot of cipher progress, I believe, or Embalmer will finish his cipher soon. Um, Patient gets found here, but he vaults the window soon enough. Patient with one elbow pad to work with from the chest. And now Wu Chang chasing down this patient who elbow pads away into this window. So again, kiting down this patient who in the beginning of the match did a really good job at kiting him. So we do see the blink is back up. Will we see a blink usage? Nope, doesn't use the blink. And now
No
he has his
blink
teleport.
there. We do see that cheerleader getting rescued by the first officer as they put pressure on that shack cipher over there, while Patient is still kiting out this Wu Chang in the deep sandbags area. He's making very good use of these windows and pallets.
We do see that the cipher is primed, so looking like BS will be the one possibly taking the win here. We do see Dungeon here as well, so we could possibly even see a four-man escape from these survivors. And they do pop the cipher. Wu Chang does have that blink to work with, so we'll see if he gets this down here. Unfortunately, teleports to the wrong side of the pallet, and now Patience Kite getting prolonged even further.
Does use
Uses
that
that blink.
blink to guarantee the down right here.
Yeah, so ultimately, Patient doing a great job at kiting during the first minutes of the game, kiting out 3 ciphers for him to switch and get aggressive with the ciphers. But yeah, survivors just rotating, and now BS will be winning. And
Yes,
so
getting that 3-man escape. Unfortunately, the Wu Chang just could not get that Patient down quick enough in the beginning, and the ciphers did get finished way too quickly.
so this will be a win in favor of BS, winning by a lead of 8 points, a 15-3 loss here for AA.
So great gameplay by both teams here. They did very well. Yeah, with that 15-3 lead, however, so
Yeah, so ultimately BS getting the advantage over AA, who did play a well game for this matchup. Unfortunately, BS's Hunter LX just getting um 2 4Ks in a row, which gave him 10 points to get a lead on. So a great job by LX or Hunter here.
yeah, and BS will be moving on to the semifinals to be facing Reverie, and well played by AA as well. Both teams did great.
Wait, BS is I don't know who BS is facing. They facing somebody. Okay.
Rever, I just said it.
Never, ain't no confirmed brackets. I don't know.
Lucy just said it in the chat.
I'm not looking at the chat.
You
I'm not
literally
looking
just
at the chat. I'm
pay
not looking at the
attention.
chat. I'm not looking at
God,
the chat. I was in my
Mika,
notes.
you're playing
I
Fortnite
was
with me
doing
after
math.
this. No, you're playing
I
Fortnite
was
with me.
doing math.
The math is done for us.
Look at bro. Losi said like 20-3. Okay,
Okay, true.
don't worry
True.
about it. True, true. I forgot you live in Europe or
Rose in the tea country.
Jesus. Yeah,
Wait, we're doing the
yeah.
outro now.
Uh, am I doing it then?
Yeah.
All right. Well, ultimately a great game, well played by both teams, and as stated before, BS moving on to face Reverie in the semifinals, and that is the end of matchups for this week. So we will see you whenever our next matches are.
Yep. And now we're gonna go play Fortnite.
I don't know who he is.
You know who we